the freedom that you get growing up in Australia in comparison to Brazil is wild. So I think like we kind of got pretty mesmerized by that, and quite quickly Brazil just became a place to kind of go back and have some nice holidays and enjoy some parties with friends, and not necessarily somewhere to live for a life.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast Chatzzz. And we are still in Bali, and we've got a very, very special guest today. Cesar, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
So I peer pressured him to come on the podcast probably did we meet about a week ago?
Yeah, about a week ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's not one of the first things, but...
It was definitely on the first day we met, yeah.
I thought you were going to say first date we met. And yeah, I was like, yeah, you need to come on the podcast. And then Claudia was saying, don't pressure him to come on, don't pressure him. I was like, I think he wants to come on. And here we are.
Voluntary participant. Yeah, for sure.
So context. So we actually met because my girlfriend's friends with your girlfriend, and then you were at a wedding in Bali, we're in Bali, and then we've been double dating for however many days.
Yeah,
last week.
About a week now, yeah.
It's been good fun.
Yeah, it's been a great time.
Yeah. So one thing I haven't prepped before, that I also get to prep people for, is how would you introduce yourself to someone for the first time, or like if a taxi driver, a Gojek driver is asking who you are, what you do, and that kind of thing, what would you say to them? Right.
Okay. Well, that's actually bad because I used to, whilst I was at uni, I used to make up what I did for a living to keep things interesting and have like real curveballs. But the actual intro is I am a software engineer, been doing that for the best part of a decade now, working back in Sydney, used like big enterprise engineering, but mostly enjoy like solving little problems, lots of automations. And then on the side of that, just try to not stare at a computer screen for too much longer than I need to. So like lots of hiking, outdoor sports, trying my best to touch some grass when I can, considering what I do for a living. But yeah, that's me.
That's a good intro. Very good intro. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice. And then let's go into the 3 facts then. So did you say you were struggling to think of them, or were struggling to think of ones that would be maybe PG enough?
Struggling. So I have because especially due to the nature of what I do for work and the fact that a lot of IT people are like kind of socially inept, these icebreakers happen all the time at work. So I have the ones that I usually say that are quite funny, but they're better when you can explain the story behind them at the pub afterwards. And considering I'm not going to go to the pub with whoever's listening to this podcast, I don't think it's probably best to not use those. But I've got some others we can use.
Right, let's dive into the first one then.
All right. So the first one is many moons ago, before I actually did IT, I studied marine biology. I was avid scuba diver and just thought something that paid for my hobby would be good. The second is English is actually not my first language. And the third is my sister is called Julia. So we are Julia Cesar.
Yeah. Was that intentional then?
That was intentional. Not for the intention of what it sounds like, but it's a good icebreaker to make it sound like it is.
Yeah.
Intentional for other ways. Yeah.
That is interesting. Yeah. So then marine biology, what interested you about that stuff?
Well, so I finishing high school, had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And at the time was scuba diving a lot. And considering I wasn't earning much money, most of my money was going into that. So I thought if I just get a job that pays for the hobby, that'll be the exchange I need in life and I'll be good. And it took me about 2 months to figure out that science wasn't for me at uni. I just missed the cutoff date for the census date that they have. So when you can drop out by and the units don't count. Absolutely bombed that semester, didn't go to any classes, and then was going to swap into just engineering. Mum was in IT. She said, you've done 6 months of one, why don't you just try 6 months of IT? And if you don't like it, you start the year fresh with engineering the year after. And just never turned back. Yeah. It turns out I was good at solving computer problems. Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's weird, but definitely didn't study it at all in school. Yeah. If I was in front of a computer, I was playing video games. So,
and then what was the second one again?
The second one, English not being my first language.
Yeah, because I think me and Claudia were saying this the other day. We would never know. Honestly, you would never know.
I'm possibly the most easily influenced person you ever meet. Very encourageable. Like even like us spending a week together, there'll be some things that I start letting out that kind of start sounding a bit British. Yeah.
Probably. My vocabulary isn't the best probably for a British person, but yeah, I think yours is probably better than mine, your English vocabulary.
Oh, man, I don't know. I had to try for it though. That's the thing. It's because it was a rough accent to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're originally from
Brazil.
Yeah.
Brazil, moved to Oz when I was 12. Yeah, 12. And then been there since. We actually had a family vote to move to the UK instead.
Oh, did you?
So my mum's from the UK. And so it was my mum, my dad, my sister and I. And my dad, my sister and I voted to move to the UK. Mum voted to Australia. Mum's vote actually counts for 4, so we went to Australia.
Yeah.
And
he's in charge.
It's most definitely in charge. And then so on the back of that, we actually just similar thing with me trying IT. It was just let's try it out. Worst comes to worst, we do move to the UK, and never look back.
No, good decision.
Like this weather isn't foreign to us. Whereas I'm assuming this isn't the usual backdrop in your podcast.
Oh, always every podcast. Yeah, definitely not 100%. I don't think I've done many outside in the UK, to be fair. So what was it like growing up in Brazil then? I'm intrigued.
I mean, it was
first memories, that kind of thing.
Oh man, honestly, like I really enjoyed it. Like the family is huge in Brazil. So like my dad was one of 5. My grandparents were like one of like 5 and 7 on the Brazilian side. So like the family is humongous. It was like very much a lot less freedom, like in comparison to like Australia and the UK. Like you grow up kind of in like closed communities instead of like you don't like walk to school or anything like that, and you don't like go play out on the you don't go like out on the streets that much. But everywhere that you go kind of has a lot of like closed complexes or like a set of like apartment buildings all together, and then they'll like basically all have like a football court in the middle or something like that. So you end up befriending that little community. And most of my friends that grew up there are still friends. So whenever I go back, I still see them. It was, a lot of football.
Yeah, that's
a
cool.
lot of football.
Yeah, because unfortunately, Cesar's a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, I know.
So we're not actually friends. We just pretend for the podcast.
This was this fact. The fact you supported Everton was actually hidden from me before we met.
Really?
I had no idea. So you made a comment on it on that first day, and I was like still trying to catch on as to how you knew I was a Liverpool supporter, but I had no idea who you supported.
I think that was the first thing Claudia said to me.
doomed from the beginning. It's okay.
It was something like Jazz's boyfriend's coming and he's a Liverpool fan. That was about it, I think. And I was like, fuck.
At least it wasn't like Merseyside derby whilst we were like here. That would have been an entertaining watch.
To be fair, I get a lot of my friends are Liverpool fans anyway. Most of them are alright. I think it's just
the ones that have their head screwed on.
Yeah,
fair.
Most of them, the other ones are just fucking nutters. But yeah. So what did you enjoy doing when you were growing up? Was it mainly like sports and football, or was there anything else? Actually, the academic side. Or?
It was sports, football, and video games. Was like my upbringing. Like back when growing up, my grandparents bought us a PS2 at the time.
Yeah,
I believe.
PS2.
Yeah, and so we used to have. If it was raining, it was everyone over at our place, like all crowded around this like little really fat TV, playing PS2. Or if it was sunny, it was outside. We had a our complex had a dirt pitch, and all of our parents were never too amused when we went to play in the rain, because we'd come back with absolutely ruined clothes and everything after having played football in the mud. So it was a lot of like that. People that had like pools in their backyard. It was just like it was like an entire world just living in that little nucleus, and then. Well, honestly, a lot less screen time than I probably have nowadays.
Yeah. I think it was the case for a lot of people growing up.
Yeah.
In our age, wasn't it?
For you?
Similar, I'd say.
Yeah.
We were still, I don't know, kids probably still do it now, but we'd go, like our friends have to like knock on the doors.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, so-and-so coming out to play. And then we had like a field in our back garden where we had like football nets and stuff. Yeah. So some kids just come around to ours and play football. Or I did love football a lot, to be fair. It's a big part of my life, but I think, I don't know.
Did you also have a dream to be a footballer one day?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I played for the local like professional team.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. And I just something I think if I applied myself more, I would have been good enough.
Yeah.
But I just didn't have as much interest as I probably thought I did. I think I just enjoyed, basically, this podcast is not about me, but I was thinking about what my mum and dad used to say to me when I was younger, is they used to say, if you want to be a footballer, right, let's discuss how much time you allocate to each thing, right?
Right.
It's the same with the video games. You used to love like FIFA and COD and all that kind of stuff. And then they're basically saying, right, the 100% of your time, and then say the least amount of time you're spending is on football. So it's clearly showing that you don't want to be a footballer. And then...
Interesting.
Yeah. So I played for Carlisle United.
Yeah.
So they're actually in non-league now. They were actually in League One when we were growing up. They were actually quite good.
How the great fall.
Yeah. And I played for them for like 6 years. Stopped when I was like 14. But I think it was because I enjoyed being like the main person in the team.
Yeah, okay.
It's like scoring all the goals, being the captain. And then when I was maybe about 12, I got moved to defence, and then I kind of lost interest.
Yeah.
And then, I just got released when I was 14, and I did cry, but I was like, I'd rather enjoy it than play in a position I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
For the sake of being a professional. But I suppose that's just me, because a couple of people from my team are professionals now.
Yeah.
Patrick and Kyle.
Oh,
and they've done all right. I mean, Kyle's been in the Championship, Patrick's like League One, it's not Premiership.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
And they've done really well. But I think the thing is, when you realise about football, you don't realise at such a young age is you have to have a team for them 1 or 2 players that make it.
Yeah.
So it can't just be 2 players in an age group, isn't it? You have to have the whole team. But yeah, I just wasn't good enough, I don't think so. It's what it is. I didn't have an injury or anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of them
knee never recovered.
No, but it was good fun. What position did you play?
I used to actually play like defense quite a bit.
Oh, did you enjoy it?
Yeah. I was quite small.
Oh yeah. I was quite small.
Yeah.
I'm still not massive at all. I'm probably like average-ish.
Yeah. Oh no, but I was like a little bowling ball up until I was in about like year 11 or so. In school, I don't know how the years work for you guys. But
year 11,
I was about
15, 16.
15, 16, was when I like finally had a growth spurt. But the entire time I was in Brazil, I was like this little bowling ball. But I was usually, my family demonstrated love through food. So I was usually quite a wide person. So I used to have a little bit of like hit to me, but not necessarily outrunning everywhere. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'd like to share the dream. I stopped playing like completely when I moved to Australia because football in Australia sucks. Yeah. But I don't know. I think like looking back, it's kind of nice to like still have it as that passion and that hobby instead of having had it turn into your everything. Cause I feel, I don't know how that, like I'd still love it the same if it was that.
It wouldn't be as fun, yeah. Because I stopped when I was 18, when I went to uni, because I was out partying. But then...
discovered what having a social life was.
And then I get my pleasure now from going to the football matches.
Yeah.
So...
Really? You still get pleasure from watching everything?
Well, in the latter part of the season, yes. The first half, it was miserable. I told you... It's like when you spend a whole day, drive there 2.5 hours, an hour before, like 2 hours for the match, and then 2.5 hours back. And when they lose, you just think, fuck. But it's that hope, isn't it, that kills you?
Yeah.
Liverpool, you fucking win every game, so it doesn't make a difference.
Well, look, we now do. I grew up, I remember the 2005 Istanbul. Like that's when I properly first really fell in love with Liverpool.
So then you give you that false hope of that.
Yeah. But then it was it wasn't too good for quite a while.
Like 15 so yeah. Something.
So, but look, got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. So did you have any, say when you moved to Australia then, how was that transition for you? Because I imagine it's a big culture shock. And
look, it was a big culture shock, but honestly, it just kind of happened. Like the same way, because I think we're still quite young. Like I was 10, I was 12, my sister was 10. And like I said, we kind of lived in that little community, in that little bubble when we were in Brazil. And it was kind of we just swapped one for the other. We quite quickly found a group of friends that all hung out and rode their skateboards around the streets that we had moved into and everything. And it just kind of became more of that. I think mum was actually bawling and in tears when she dropped us off for our first day of school. And she picked us up after the first day and we were already talking with everyone there. And she was like, oh, okay, it's fine. So honestly, it happened. We were heartbroken to go. It was not a decision we wanted to do in the slightest. But when it happened, it kind of just went really quick.
That's cool.
Yeah. And on the other side, the freedom that you get growing up in Australia in comparison to Brazil is wild. So I think like we kind of got pretty mesmerized by that, and quite quickly Brazil just became a place to kind of go back and have some nice holidays and enjoy some parties with friends, and not necessarily somewhere to live for a life.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So then when you were going through school then, did you have any aspirations, jobs you wanted to do, anything like that? Was that something that was on your mind, or was it just like living in the moment?
I kind of just lived through it. Like that's what was crazy, is because like I feel like a lot of people didn't necessarily think too much towards the beginning of high school.
No.
But then towards like the end of high school, everyone kind of has like, or not everyone, but a lot of people kind of had their minds made up as to what to do. And like I mentioned, I had absolutely no idea and ended up going to marine bio. And even when we were at uni, I feel like a lot of people really switched on to like, oh, I need to apply for like this intern position here or this intern position there. And I kind of just bobbed about and missed both my lectures up until my third year.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like enjoying probably like you, just they got taken away into the social side of it and just kind of lost track of the rest. But the wheels came back on eventually. But yeah, honestly, no, I didn't have anything in particular that I wanted to do. I think probably worried my parents a lot for a good amount of time, but we got there in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the passion when I don't know, I feel like I've grasped this similarly with you as well. Like when like something new can come into my life and I'll just get really fixated by it and I'll jump in 2 feet, entire body straight away. And so that kind of just has been what happened with most of the things along the way. And then when IT and stuff came along, I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, enjoy it. Yeah. So I think that's the thing. So especially these days, so many opportunities to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And people will see people online as well. And I see it as well, that someone's doing amazing in this, they're smashing that, they're making so much money in this. And yeah, they can be, but they still have to put in a bit of work, don't they? And focus. Because I always say to people, you've got like 100% energy.
Yeah.
And say, if you're doing 5 things at once, you've got 20.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a fifth of the way there. Whereas if you had one thing, you're gonna get there 5 times quicker. Or if you had 2 things, you're gonna get there double the speed. So I think it's just, like you say, trying stuff, putting your full focus in it. If you don't like it, just fucking do something else, because you can do whatever you want.
That's what's crazy to me, because like I like quickly, like my hobbies kind of went from like gaming and doing this and whatever else to just like being really enthralled in what I do for work. And like, it's like, even on the side, I'd end up like coding up side projects, trying to like start a business with friends, whatever it was like like I enjoy doing that. Like I get the same kind of kick spending a day coding as I do spending a day in front of the PlayStation with the TV, like in front of the TV with my PlayStation. So it's like mind boggling to me how some people kind of don't have that for work. I'm like, I would not function.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people will just do stuff because they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's the easy option, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I even noticed it with some of my friends. I'm not denying that they're not happy. I think they will still be happy, but they will regret certain things by not doing it.
Yeah.
And still be in the same position they were a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like in COVID, I know one of my friends, he said he wanted to start this thing. And I was like, why don't you just start it?
Yeah.
And this is when I was like starting my business up again. And then he's like, oh, I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do this. And then fast forward 5 years, he's had a kid, got a house, married, still not doing his thing, still in the same job. That, yeah, you can be happy, I think, but could you be happier? And that's the thing. I think a lot of people are just fine being comfortable and coasting along.
They just find something that's good. And then, I don't know, for me, I don't know, like I kind of get the same vibe from you as well. But like for me, it's a blessing and a curse. But like I have some unexplainable self-belief that I'm just like, yeah, no, I can do this. It's fine. Like,
got to though.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I feel like I've always like chased the next thing because of that, but maybe like not having that also plays into things. But like if someone was to just be like, oh no, I'm good at what I'm doing now, no point. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a funny old place. It
is a funny old place.
So then when you were finishing uni then, and like you say, what was, like you say, you just kind of went through life thinking, oh, I'll just do whatever. And then when you finish uni and you go out into the big bad world, What was the thoughts then? 'Cause I was a bit like, what the fuck's going on here? Because my mum and dad wouldn't pay for anything more for me. I just paid my own rent, my own phone bills, and I was like, fuck, life's expensive.
Look, I don't know. I think it was, I don't know if it was like my frontal lobe developing towards the end of uni or something like that.
That's quite early then.
Yeah, but it was, I definitely took a few semesters along the way. I extended my degree quite a bit. So, but by the time I was like towards the end of my degree, I was actually taking things quite seriously. Like towards like the last year and a half of what I was doing for my studies, had kind of grasped that I was just like, I'd worked some pretty crappy jobs throughout the way, and a lot of things that like made me like have love for like automation or building things, and like not wanting to do repetitive tasks. And so like me and a friend for like the last 18 months of my degree were like, we had a business of literally going and like door knocking around our local area and asking people what are websites or apps. And so towards the end of uni, like my main dream was to kind of like, I never want to like, where like we can do this, like we like, yes, we're IT people and are good at what we do, but we can talk, so we can go out, find work and like be more entrepreneurial with it. And I think it was, my second last semester, I ended up doing a project for a big consulting firm through uni, got a job offer through that. And my parents have never really pushed me to do anything that I don't want to do, but they were definitely quite on the side of, you should really take this job. So I sold out, joined the corporate world, and then like life kind of just spiraled from there. Like it feels like I've lived, I don't know, like 4 lifetimes since I finished uni, and I finished uni 7-8 years ago, something like that now. Like it's crazy. Like, I don't know. It kind of just went. But by that time it was a lot less of let's go out, let's just party all the time, and like, let's just see what we can do in this world with the first building things for other people, and then now trying to build something without other people. I think other people can be difficult is the moral of the story. Sure. Yeah.
I want to backtrack and just ask, why did you go out knocking doors?
Because we found like, so basically at that time, we knew that there were a lot of people in like local businesses and everything that had really bad websites, or would probably have like some sort of need for like a web application of sorts for anything for their business. A lot of them had really outdated things. And to some of them, we literally just like went and started door knocking and be like, hey, we're kicking this off. We need some good use cases. And so we're not like charging through the nose. We want to kind of build a portfolio of things we've done. So we found some people that were actually quite keen to just kind of take us on board. Josh, one of my best mates, and the guy who I was doing with this at the time, like happened to work at a store that needed a website redone. So we redid their website, and then we kind of just started doing that for a little while. And it was, a lot of just going out, finding like people's problems, and then basically just being like, cool, like, are we going to build you like a Shopify website or this or that? And it was to us things that we could smash out rather quickly, but to them things that were like, this is a cult black box that they had no idea about. So it was, we found like a decent amount of success just kicking off with that. Obviously, scalability wise, we would have probably had to like really pick things up if we were to do it full time. Like I was never earning that much when I was at uni, but it was, enough to gain experience. Cause I feel like it's like, especially like technical ability wise, I learned way more doing that work than I ever did at uni.
Yeah, always the case, I think.
Exactly. Like, I feel like people leave uni pretty inequipped.
I.e. me.
All of us. Gotta go eat the dog food.
I think a lot of people wouldn't do that though. Like say, I know you've identified the problem and they need new websites, etc. But I think the main barrier is like going out and knocking the doors and speaking to people. Because I think especially I wouldn't do that. Well, when I was younger, I used to, for events, knock on halls doors and give out flyers and try and sell tickets. But I know that I wouldn't want to do that. What specifically made you to think that was a good idea? Because that's a lot of effort, and that like fair play for you for doing that. I think because especially when you're at uni, I don't know, when you're that young, I feel like you just have that, I don't know how to describe it. You just do shit, don't you, without thinking about it, and you just think, this is a good idea, I'm going to go do it. And you don't think of like the consequences. Whereas now I'd think, oh, that's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of rejection.
The world has broken us down a little bit.
Yeah. I think at that age, how much, maybe like 20, 21-ish, give or take?
Yeah, roundabout. Yeah.
So like, who came up with the idea and why do you think it was a good idea? Obviously it worked.
No, it was just like, it was kind of between the two of us because we were just like, I don't know, like the kind of, it goes with the job, right? Like our job is to take a problem, break it down into small problems and then solve the little problems. And to us, it was just like, cool, we need to find people. How do we do this? Like who's in need of this? And it was people out there. And like we actually had worked at a like social media, like not social media, but like a digital marketing agency helping with a lot of like Google ads and stuff like that. And I was like, we're not going to find people through Google ads. Or at least like, it's like, we're going to need to put like money and like wait all this time for like that fruit to like bear any sort of benefit for us. And so like, how do we get ourselves out there now? So we if I go through my Reddit account, I'll probably find some Reddit posts that I did a very long time ago talking about like, we're trying to build our own marketing website with like a contact us form and we can't figure out why it's not working, like that kind of level of IT.
Yeah.
And we just spent like a weekend building our own website, went out, printed some business cards and we're like, cool, let's go find some people. I don't know. It's just like for us, it was just like what made sense to do.
Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing when you're younger as well, is you have so much time, but you don't have that money. Well, most cases. So like when you got time, otherwise you just be like, say, sitting at home playing on PlayStation or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you may as well try and do something productive.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like, especially taking into account the amount of time that we kind of just, waste about just doing random things or just doom scrolling or whatever else. Like you can do a lot in a day.
Yeah. 100%. Because I think that's probably where I learned my quote unquote sales skills from.
Sure.
Because I wish I did sales. I had a sales job at least like 1 year or something when I was like younger, but I can't be bothered now.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the constant rejection just like builds that resilience to say like when we used to do events and used to like knock on the doors and say like, oh, do you want to come to this event tonight or tomorrow? Buy these tickets. And then some people would be like, yeah, somebody would be like, fuck off. And it just, I don't know, you just learn to listen maybe and then what their like objections may be and try and just be like, oh, I've got no money. And they're like, oh, well, you can have free entry.
Yeah.
Or I can't afford alcohol. Like, oh, we'll give you a free whatever on thing. And I think that's what's kind of like translated into maybe what I do now. I'm quite a good listener. I'm maybe not as good a talker, but sales is such an important thing.
You're definitely quite a good listener. I feel like I just babble off like a bunch of things here and you're like, wait, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this. Like the listening aspect you are very good at.
Yeah, but I think that's helped with the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Because one thing that you learn from doing the podcast is, what's one thing that you learn from the podcast is what I found when I first started is I'd used to try and seem smarter. This is subconsciously, not like me actually trying to be smart. I'd try and finish people's sentences. So if you were saying something, I'd be like, oh yeah, and so. But it's like,
I suffer from that so bad.
And when you listen to it back, you think, oh, that just comes across a bit like obnoxious and arrogant.
Yeah.
And also I suppose this isn't to listening, but as well, if you're saying something to me and I'm going like, yeah, it just sounds so bad and it's better for you to finish the thing you say and then me wait for you to pause and then go. And I don't know if that carries the conversation better or it helps me listen more. And then I'm thinking, oh, you've said that. That's quite interesting. Maybe I'll go back to that if you like babble on and go into some other tangents.
Yeah.
That's one thing I shouldn't do. I should say, because it's better to pause and say it. It comes across like stupid, but
I definitely struggle with the ums and the likes. It's a problem of being very incorrigible is the more people I hang out with that say it, the more it just kind of comes across in my vocabulary. But yeah, look, I think I don't know, it's kind of, just playing like a little Tetris game in your head and just like piecing together how to like put through like a conversation or anything like that. I don't know. It's definitely something I've tried to learn. a lot because I can definitely just bulldoze a conversation if I'm left unchecked. But
yeah, this is my 126th podcast, so I've done quite a few.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so I've improved a lot since I first started. The first one failed to record, so this one hopefully will record.
This one could fail to record still. It is.
So what was it like going into that first job then, the first real world like proper job? Because I know you worked in retail when you were at uni and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was...
So what you expected?
I had no idea what to expect. So I kind of just went in with a very empty glass, just ready to do anything. And very fortunate that I worked with some very good people, and they kind of like took me under their wing and walked me through basically like those very formative years of my career. And it got to work on some really cool projects, and always in quite like small but like high achieving teams. And then that dynamic was great. We were probably incredibly underpaid at the time, but they used to do, like, especially in consulting, it was at least 3 or so paid drinking nights per week. So like you'd be underpaid, but free drinks all the time. And I just somehow used to exist in a way that I used to just go out, drink 2 to 3 times during the week with work, on the weekend with friends, but like still manage to go to the gym 5 days a week in the middle. I would cease to exist if I did that now.
Feel like you hit 25 and then you just can't do the same shit.
Oh yeah, maybe I said that like a little bit too loud into the mic, but I'm quite an animated person.
Did you enjoy that job then, do you think?
I've always really enjoyed what I did for work. Like that's one of the most fortunate things for me is ever since I started IT, I think, except for maybe like a little 6-month period earlier this year where I was kind of just burning out. It was, yeah, I've always really enjoyed what I did. And the crux of IT, like I said before, is just kind of like taking a big problem, something that seems like unimaginable to begin with, breaking it down and solving those little issues, then piecing it together. I get a like hit, like an endorphin hit or something of the kind when I solve those problems, that it's almost like a drug to me. So like I just, yeah, it's sit there, put on my headphones, start solving these problems and feel like I'm taking over the world. I'm most definitely not, but in my mind, that's just like where I end up going in my little flow. Yeah. And yeah, for me, it's just the right thing for me to do, I'd say. Yeah.
It's important to do something you enjoy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I can relate in the sense of, if I've done my meetings all day on a Tuesday, even though it's tiring and long, I will get a bit of a, like say, an endorphins hit, because I think, oh yeah, we're talking about like improving this or building that or whatever. And then you think, oh fuck yeah, that's a really good day. And then you're knackered and I'm tired, whatever. But it is good. It's important to find that in your day to day, because you spend so much time working, don't you? It's like, such a big part of your life.
Yeah. I to the exact point, like I can't imagine like getting up every day and like going to actually like keep pushing through if I didn't enjoy what I did. I feel like I just end up taking sick days all the time and just be like, no, not today. Today's a gaming day. Or so definitely in mental health days from time to time, but like definitely not a regular occurrence.
So what happened after the consulting job then?
Well, we were doing a big project at one of the banks in Australia. And when effectively mum and dad had a divorce, when there was the corporate split between the two companies, there were offers for us to come on board to the bank to see out the project and then transition anywhere within that. So I'm not going to say I followed my heart. I definitely got a healthy pay increase when I did it, but it was, like kind of maneuvered into that. And the idea was that like, in consulting, we always used to do, it's like known for having some longer hours and some projects that need to be done in a certain amount of time, so you end up working more. And the passion was always to like continue to do my own thing, really. Yeah. So the same friend that I used to go door knocking with, we had some different business ideas of what we were going to try to build to take over the world, I guess. And we joining the bank was like a thing for me to be able to have that time on the side to then start working on other things. So been very fortunate through my time at the bank, always moving around, doing different exciting things with some people that are really good and support me very well. But the main thing on the side now is just, trying to solve our own problems or trying to solve something that is our own to see where we can take that, because you feel just like a very small cog in a huge machine when you work at a big enterprise, I'd say.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Have you always wanted to have your own business? Obviously, you had your thing at uni. Is that something you've always aspired to have?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I get, like what we were talking about before, like you kind of jump in with both feet, or you like really get fixated on something and want to see it succeed. And I've found that it's good to have that in the enterprise world, but it's, at the end of the day, it's still not your thing. There are going to be higher forces and business directions that aren't going to go your way. There's been like some very disheartening moments in my career where we've kind of just been like, oh, well, like we just put all this work into this, but now we can't take it any further. And I don't know, just like having like at least for me, your coding projects end up turning into your baby, and that thing you're like nurturing through. And so you kind of just want to have your own, in my mind at least. And also just not being a slave to a salary would be good. Yeah. Being able to come work in places like this. I guess a lot of people like digital nomads and do that already anyway. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the accomplishment and the like sense of achievement that I would have from having my own thing would be huge. Yeah. So that's why I've always tried.
Yeah. And then how did this idea come about then? Like, so you had the idea when you were younger. You said you had a few ideas. How did you decide on this thing?
The one that I'm currently doing?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the 5th or 6th idea now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's never the first thing. Never is.
It never is. We tried like automated payments through number plate recognition. So yeah, like we always just had like problems that we knew were a problem, and we thought, oh, we'll see if we can solve this. So some ideas kind of get lost along the way. Some we spend quite a bit of time on, and then they eventually just don't. Maybe it's not the right time or something. But this one was actually something that I started working on with the guy who actually hired me into the consultancy that I first worked at. So he hired me out of uni. We always had a good relationship, and his name's Cam. And when Cam finished, we stopped working together, we kept in touch, and he always had the idea of like trying to build a self-service financial planning tool to kind of like bridge the gap between advice and people trying to like DIY everything on Excel and spending hours and hours and hours bashing their head against a spreadsheet that isn't going to work. And so we kind of, started off with an idea. It started off with many, many PowerPoints. I think he'd already taken quite a few stabs at this in different ways. And he decided to take the plunge. I, at the time, was actually working on 2 other ideas on the side. And this one so far has just really felt right. It's felt like very like healthy in the way that we're going by and progressing in the story and the journey of it. And so quickly, all the other things that I was doing on the side kind of ceased to exist as I just got more and more and more into this idea. And then, now it's the complete passion project. We've been at it for a little over a year, and so far, very good.
Right. Yeah. How do you find it then working with your friend and say an ex-colleague?
Yeah, really good. Like we work really well together. There's certain types of people that I think complement you and what you do very well. It's the 2 of us and Jono, another friend of his who he met through another job that he worked at, and all of us quite technical but can work with a lot of autonomy. And so we kind of just discuss things and what we want to do, and then we just go off and do them, come back, reassess, evolve from there. We've now got like a graphic designer that helps the tool look good, because it turns out that 3 guys that mostly work in IT are not good at making things look good.
That's a stereotype right there.
Yeah, that's a very, very real stereotype for us. Yeah. But and then we just kind of slowly start to grow, slowly start to meet more people that are passionate about the problem as well. And then especially working in the startup community back in Sydney, you start to meet other founders that are doing their own thing. And it's quite an amazing little like community of just like bouncing your ideas off people and like getting to iterate really quickly, because you're just then like, a lot of people have already lived through a lot of the problems that come with starting a business, or with trying to go for funding for the first time, or trying to market yourself, as I'm sure you know, for the first time, because turns out we're also not good at marketing ourselves. So you, through osmosis, kind of just like rub off on other people, like learn from them, and together try to get to the best place you possibly can be.
Yeah. So what do you think made this idea feel right for you? Because like you say, at the time, every idea feels right at the start, doesn't it? But then it's when you learn more about who you're working with, or the actual specific idea you're working on, or the product or service that you're offering, then you learn really quickly that this thing to you, or these people to you, are the most important things, but nobody else gives a fuck, do they? Because at the end of the day, everyone's problems are their most important problems, or everyone's thing is their most important thing. So what do you think made this feel right?
For me, look, it's a financial planning tool about coming up with a financial plan and having a goal, a financial goal in mind that you're working towards, and understanding how your financial decisions are going to impact getting there. I was a financial dumbass when I started off doing this. I was fortunate enough to have a good job. My pay was steadily increasing, and I would just go out and have fun. Never really had a plan, just kind of enjoyed being able to like live that lifestyle, and to just spend money, go on trips, go do this, go do that. And it was when I started to go through and actually learn a lot about personal finance. Well, I've had to learn a crap load now, but that you start to make a lot of changes to what you do. And I think every bit of knowledge I gained, I started to look at things differently in life. And that has kind of been a loop that's just kind of like fed itself. So I learn more about it. It impacts my life more. I get even more into the idea. I learn more about it. And it's just a cycle that just made it really be like the only thing I really think about most of the time. Obviously think about my family and friends, but like on a day to day, like it's just like, I'll like go to bed thinking about it, go have a shower thinking about it. Turns out the shower is a great place for solving coding problems. I don't know why, but have a moment of clarity whenever I'm in the shower. But so it just kind of, like you were saying, it just felt right. And it felt like the thing I needed to be doing right now, and the knowledge that I needed to be gaining at this point in my life. And you meet a lot of other people who are very passionate about the problem, that you realize that this is a huge problem that needs solving. And like, I know the numbers in Australia, and I know in the UK, it's quite a thing as well. There is a lot of people out there that need to, like, they would like access to advice, and it's cost prohibitive. It's the Excel side of it, the DIY side of it is too hard. And the theory that we have is that it's not that the whole topic is just something that's so complex that you need a financial advisor to give you financial advice. If you break down all of the problems enough, and you educate people, and you give them all the right tools, they can do the work themselves, and they can understand it, and they can upskill and become better to make better decisions themselves. And so, like that to me just keeps my brain going.
Do you find it useful or helpful to build something that you would personally benefit for, or something that would be you as the demographic?
I don't even know if it's useful or helpful. I think it's necessary. It's necessary to feel the problem. It's necessary to understand what needs to be done. And I think the three of us, for example, I'm 28, Cam's about 4 years older than me, Jono's about 4 years older than him. Jono's just had a kid. Cam is married, has got his own place, and I am me. And you have all three of us kind of within our target demographic, but that have very different financial problems that we need solving. So the three of us coming together to kind of solve the problems for us three and for very different types of people within this age group, you kind of just end up building a tool that then builds out for more and more people, and we can impact what it is. We then have a Discord community of people that have gotten very passionate about it, that come in and explain their problems, that help us go and fix their issues as well. And you kind of just build out from there.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, you need to feel the issue. Otherwise you can't accurately solve for it.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Because I think for me personally, that's where I started mine, like videos and stuff. Because I just used to do videos. I was good at videos, and then I used to do videos to sign clients. And I'd be like, oh, well, I can do videos for you, and you can get more customers and that kind of thing. And it's, I find it a lot easier when, let's say you use it, or it's like your problem, and then you can easily sell it. I hate the word sell, but like you can easily sell it to other people, because it's like, I am the case study. Yeah. Especially when you're starting out as well. It's like, I'm the case study. This is really useful for me. It's helped me a lot. I think it could help you too. Yeah. And like I say, you've got loads of people already that find it helpful and useful, because if you've got like 8 years difference of like you younger, then one in the middle and one further on in life, it's like, if it's useful for all three, that's a lot of people, isn't it, that you could help.
Exactly. And then you just kind of, we're all our own people, but at the end of the day, a lot of us have very similar issues.
Oh yeah, everyone thinks they're unique, but
exactly. Like we are unique in our own ways, but we're also just vanilla and basic. And so the passing on that knowledge and that wisdom, helping other people solve the same issues, I think the best way to go by doing a lot of things.
That's cool. So what does the tool actually do for somebody? If somebody's listening and thinking, oh yeah, I need some financial help or financial advice or help with my finances, what does it do to help them?
Definitely not advice.
It's not financial advice.
Key caveat, it's not financial advice. But it's the tool allows you to come in and input your income, your expenses, the value of your assets, the liabilities that you have against those assets or student debt, whatever else it may be. And we then do provide you with like a timeline of your life in all the years going forward till past retirement. And the idea is that you start dragging in life events into that timeline, and you see how those life events are going to impact you financially. And you can bring on things like buy an investment property or buy a house, have kids, take parental leave, have a career change, and see the numbers and have all of the number crunching around that done for you, taking into account tax implications. For us, superannuation, I'm not sure what it is in the UK, but it's like having all of the number crunching done for you and making it easy enough that the average person can come in and build a financial plan, or just come in and see how certain choices are going to impact their life and then make more informed decisions based on that. So the basic purpose of it is to then just, come in, see how different life events are going to impact your life, see how different choices are going to impact your life, and make better informed decisions based on that. And then also then be able to come back afterwards and track against that, see 6 months from now, how have you fared? Like, have you saved as much as you thought you were going to save? Have you spent as much as you thought you were going to spend? Adjust for that. And I think that is where there is a massive gap in the traditional advice world now, because you can go out and you can get a statement of advice, but especially for younger people with an ever-changing life, in 6 months' time, that's going to be completely outdated. And so having the ability to come in and make those tweaks and have that go-to place for keeping track of how you're doing and where you're going is what enables people to, I think the stat is be 3.9 times better off in 15 years, like people that have a plan versus people that don't.
That's a lot.
So it's that's a big difference in the bottom line for you at that time. So enabling everyone to kind of have access to that is the purpose of what we're doing.
Yeah. I think like you say, the keeping track and the accountability
Yeah.
is quite good, because I've never had been to a financial advisor. My dad's a retired now chartered accountant, so he tells me stop spending so much money. But I think the example I can give is just say like my Whoop. My Whoop most times keeps me accountable to try and get a good sleep.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like that tool would be good because it's saying if you're putting in all of your predictions of life events and income and predicted income and that kind of thing, and then you haven't saved as much as you wanted to, or you spent a little bit more, I would feel shit, because I'd be like, oh fuck, that is not good. Whereas if even you've hit it or you've beat it slightly, you're like, oh yeah, I feel good. And that's like the little hit you want, isn't it? Of like, oh yeah, I'm doing well, I'm doing good, I'm making progress, that kind of thing.
And I think
a lot of people won't, and like I don't do it as much as I should as well, but a lot of people like, yeah, you should hold yourself more accountable for your finances, 100%, because I'll check every month or every quarter for like, do you have VAT in Australia?
What's
value added tax?
Yes, I assume we'd have an equivalent of it. Yes.
So like, I have to do like a VAT return every quarter.
Yeah. So your tax return.
You have to pay like the government a certain amount of money for your company income and that kind of thing. And then at the end of every year, when I do my personal tax return, you have to do them in the UK. Depending on how much you earn, you have to pay that as well. So I will keep an eye on it, but something like that would be quite good, because say I check my Whoop every day, multiple times a day, of like my strain, my recovery, my sleep. Yeah. But that's the thing, when I was in lockdown and I was putting money into crypto, I just got so addicted. I was like, oh, it's up, it's down. But I suppose personal finances, it's not fluctuating that much, is it? It's more predictable. But I think, an accountability partner like that would be so useful for most people, because I think I'll probably be on my finances more than most normal, most people, most general people, probably because they might just get like paid every month and then they've got the set stuff, whereas mine will like fluctuate quite a bit. So I think it's a great idea. It's a great tool. Yeah.
And I think it's not just like the accountability, yes. But the accountability, yes, but also just the understanding of how certain decisions are going to impact. So like just like little spendings here or there that you might not think are making a big difference, you realize once it's on a sheet in front of you, the difference it makes, or like little changes you can make now, how those are going to impact you moving forward. And then with all of those, then coming back and just living a life where you aren't just consistently worrying about, am I spending too much, or am I doing this, or am I doing that? There is a sanity and a tranquility about knowing that what you're doing is okay. And it like doesn't need to be, you don't need to go exactly by the plan, but just knowing that what you're doing is roughly getting you to where you want to go. And like that, there's a beauty in that similarly to the Whoop or anything that helps track and keep you on that plan, it's, you need it for all aspects of life, I'd say.
I think it's, especially if you work like a monthly paying job where you've got a set salary, and then like you say, those little things, if you can save, could make a big difference. I think I'm probably, you say for me, if I can always earn more money, like say I could sign a new client and my income would go like that. So, and I like to think my income's gone like that over the years. Whereas if you stay on the same income every year, that's like, I think that's personally, I think it's like risky, because like you say, if you have like an accident, you don't have any savings, and this would be perfect, isn't it? You think, oh, you have to spend a few grand here. And if you don't have a few grand, and then if you have to get a credit card, and then I use credit cards all the time. If you have to get a credit card and you can't pay it off in that month, and then in that vicious cycle of the 20, 30, whatever percent interest, I think, isn't Amex like 50% if you got like an Amex if you didn't pay it off?
It's something
crazy.
ridiculous.
I think my personal ones would be like 20 or 30 or something. And that's when people get in trouble, isn't it? Because I think, isn't credit card debt at like an all-time high or something, like billions and billions and trillions?
The eye-watering numbers of debt.
So it is difficult, especially in the UK, cost of living crisis. A lot of people can't afford to do stuff. So the more knowledge people have in like layman's terms, the better, because I think people do overcomplicate it. It's just like, you earn this, you spend a little bit less, and you put a bit away in to try and maybe a bit is like a backup pot, and then a bit invest, and then that's
and you can run the numbers on, is it better to then take that bit and invest in shares, or should I be am I better off looking at property based on like historical data and how things have like worked over like the last X number of years. And just being able to, I don't know, just make sure you, like, it's a scary world, and just knowing like what you're doing is okay and you're going the right direction is invaluable.
And then what's next for this then, would you say, for you? For you three, what's the next steps?
For Canwi, for the business? Yeah, I've realized I haven't even said the name of the business.
I wasn't sure if you're keeping it a secret or not.
No,
So,
we're not.
What's
I'm horrible at self-promotion. Go figure. Not the marketing guy.
So what's the name?
The business is called Canwi. So as in, can we afford to like retire? Can we afford to buy a house? Can we afford to go to Europe this year?
Nice.
And we've built it for the Australian tax system right now, but we've built it in a way that is scalable to other tax systems. And the goal for us now is to just kind of put our head down, continue solving the problem and finding that kind of product market fit within Australia, and then expanding outwards to the UK, US. You'll be the first to know when you can start running numbers in the tool for you. So like those are the next steps, I'd say. Keeping us nice and busy.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it's exciting, isn't it? Because so much potential, and literally anybody could be a customer as well.
Yeah,
anybody. There's no, well, maybe I don't know, little kids or whatever, but we haven't got construction all the time.
The construction has started as we get talking about this.
Because anybody could be your customer, isn't it? Like you say, if you adapt it to the different countries and their tax systems.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Exactly. So right now, obviously, I don't know if most of your listeners are from the UK, but
mainly,
it's Canwi, canwi.com.au. You can come, you can sign up and see what we've built so far. And especially if this is a problem for people in a tax system that we haven't solved yet, we, as mentioned, have a Discord server with a whole bunch of people in there. We're always online responding to how people reach out to us. So if you want to come help us solve your problem, just reach out.
Nice. So last section, I'm going to ask you. So that's so annoying, isn't it? So if you could give your younger self, one piece of advice, what would it be? Even if you were maybe 18 or just starting out on your journey into work life, career, what do you think that would be? Between 18, when you finish uni, what piece of advice would you give yourself?
I mean, I always felt like I already had this knowledge, but yet not being scared to fail is probably the best. Like, failure is good. Finding, like, failure comes with understanding why you failed, becoming better and trying again. And so surrounding yourself and putting yourself in the positions where you are going to not just be theorizing about what to do or what's best to do or how to do something, actually going, trying to do it and becoming better at doing it based on that. I think for us, there's been like dramatic points in my career where I've just all of a sudden like started to be involved in like the startup community or something like that, where it's just everyone really going in and actually trying to solve these problems, failing quick, getting back on it, going forward, and leveraging the knowledge and the wisdom of other people that have tried and failed to get to where you want to go quicker, because the theory will only ever take you so far.
Oh yeah, you certainly should do stuff, don't you? And I think that's the one thing. That's one of the main reasons I think why people don't start is because they've got a fear of failure.
Yeah.
In any aspect of life, isn't it? It's, say, in relationships, people are too scared to ask a girl out on a date because they might get rejected, or they're too scared to start a business because they think it might fail. But it's just like, imagine if you asked that girl out and she went out of you, or you started that business and it did work, how how much would that impact and change your life?
Yeah.
Essentially, that upside could be massive.
Yeah.
But you just got to do more shit, haven't you?
Yeah. Just instead of just sitting in the if, buts, and maybes.
Yeah. I need to take some of the opposite advice thing of think more about the stuff before I do it. I just do stuff and then try and figure it out later. It's just
there's a balance to everything. Nothing in extremes is ever good.
Yeah. Right. So where can people find you, follow you, get in touch, all that fun stuff?
So for the business side, so Canwi, canwi.com.au. You'll find most of us there. Cesar Murphy on some socials. I suck at social media, but some socials, LinkedIn, if that's probably a social media nowadays or considered to be. And yeah, just always here for any questions, any bit of like, I'm always here to listen to people's problems and help them try to figure out how to get to where how we can solve this little thing that's going to improve their life by like X amount.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right, everybody, if you listen on YouTube, make sure to like the video, comment your favorite part, and subscribe. If you listen on Spotify, Apple, make sure to follow the podcast and leave a 5-star review. And we'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye.